What's up guys, this was a job I did recently where a small footing was needed to extend this outdoor living area. As you can see in this photo, I've already cleared the area a bit and taken some measurements of where I need to dig. Getting straight in the excavator, I started digging the outermost strip first, loading into my wheelbarrow, which I then carted through the garage and into the tipper trailer using the trailer's gate and a plank of wood to make the ramp. Funny story with my wheelbarrow was the poor little trolley tire that had been on it for so long finally popped and out of nowhere, which gave me a good fright and I nearly lost control. Anyway, I ducked off to Bunnings and got a new one, and we were back to work. If you haven't noticed by now, the excavator I needed for this job is tiny. Weighing only about 800 kilos, it is about as small as they come before being in the second grade sandpit. That said, it was the right tool for the job and I could get through the garage and around the house with no dramas. It was difficult to get used to the jerkiness of the smaller machine, but with time I was able to swing it around without making too much of a mess. Picking up my tape measure and shovel here, I'm hopping in and making sure that my trench is the right depth and it's nice and clean along the bottom, also that it's the right distance away from the concrete there. This is about what the job's looking like at this stage. There's a little pile of dirt there which I cleaned up just after this. Now it was time to head out and grab a load of rubble, which I would then spread out and compact along the top of the bench as per the builder's specifications. As you can see, it's in 10 times speed here, but I'm taking it nice and slow, trying not to spill all over the driveway. If I remember correctly, it was 50 mil of compacted rubble that I needed on top of the bench to provide for 125 mil of concrete on top of that. You might be thinking this slab has been over-engineered to the point where a fully loaded semi-trailer could drive over it. But at least if they have a party with 30 friends all jumping around, it won't be any chance of falling away beneath them. Considering the small area, I spread out the rubble by hand. This kept the job tidy and I could keep a close eye on the level of the rubble, which helped me knock over any high spots and fill low spots. Dropping in with the excavator again, I set out on compacting the rubble. I keep the bucket in this position so that I have clear sight of where I am going and where I have been. Having the bucket here will also potentially give me a form of safety net if the edge breaks away and the excavator falls into the trench. Here you can see how I keep the bucket real nice and low as I go along that edge. One last tickle with the rake before I compact again, and making sure that my level's good with that tape measure. Carefully climbing out here, making sure not to damage the concrete there or disturb the rubble too much. This is what the bench is looking like now. I'm pretty happy with it, but there's still a bit more to do. You don't really find quick hitches on these small excavators, so you need to get used to finding that happy position where you don't have to push and pull too much on the bucket when you're getting that rear pin in and out. A few shots of diesel. Being very careful here not to chip the edge of the concrete. Luckily, the spurs of concrete underneath the surface gave me a buffer as I carry the trench through. The bench is starting to lose its structure at this point, so I'm pulling the middle strip through very carefully as well, just picking up small buckets at a time. A bit more carrying on to get through to the finish line. This job took me about 3 days altogether. That included dumping 5 or 6 loads of soil and picking up and dropping off the excavator from the hire shop. And there you have it. I hope you enjoyed the video. If it gives you some insight on how to do a job like this yourself, or you might just like it for some ASMR effect, let me know either way. The other trades will come in now and finish the concreting and extend the patio, and it's gonna look schmicko.